Okay, uh, so we have seen the web API and the basic some topics of the web in our last videos. Now I will add the web API into our current solution, which is the school management. So right click, add new project, web API application, and this we can name it school management dot. It's a service, so we can call it the REST service. Yes, we want to create the web API. Okay, so we will keep the values controller intact to test something, but we also need to call this manager from the browser. So we'll create another controller here. We'll name it as a student controller. Yes, we want to create the web API. Name it as a student controller. Also, student is not referenced yet, so we'll reference it. Get similar like this. Get return type. So So what happens here is we have called the student manager get students. It will come here and it calls the database students and returns here, and from the web API controller we will return it to the browser. As we have done into the console application, we need the connection string here as well. So let's first check what is the state of its web API config. Okay. Okay. So I have copied the total config sections, config string, and an entity framework to just beneath the configuration. You can see the config section, connection string, entity framework. There is another problem, which is we have enabled the entity framework into our console application, so we will also need to enable it. So right click, enable restore. So that it will manage the packages all over the solution. We have copied and pasted these three sections. Sorry. So for your checking, I just copied these three sections from the app config. Okay. I then enabled the the NuGet packages, and see whether it runs or not. Okay, I did one more thing, that is to keep it as a startup project. Right click, startup project. Okay, so as we have seen in the last video, we will see the API. Which API does it exposes us? You can see it exposes now the student, which is our student controller, and we click it. It is get API slash student. So default URL slash student. Okay. It gives me the same problem as we have found in the console application. So let's right click, we have done it in our console application. I hope you can remember. So right click, rebuild the solution and run it. So I remember the URL API slash student. It is now getting the information from the database. Do I have the database in this PC? Let's check it. Okay, sorry, somehow I detached my database. So in my database currently 3 row, 1, 2 and 3, lion, tiger and monkey. So let's run it again. Go to API and you can see the slash API slash student. And now you can see the XML coming here. So why we need that? Because if you call now this URL from your mobile application, a real URL, you can get the XML instead of the HTML. So we'll discuss about these details later. Thank you.